Greetings, Clobberers. Welcome to Clobberin Times number. 376 on YouTube, but 1,076 overall. And wild card Wednesday night. Hey, my good friends. Tonight, where anything goes, open geek wild card in this because I don't have a topic. And of course, counting down to the latest episode of the wonderful show, The Orville, just under 2 hours now. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to talking to you and hanging out with you, my good friends. Let's see here, up and you up and some show notes real quickly. Okay, what do we got? Obviously, again, it looks like we've got the Orville coming out. Next week, Iconicon. Um, 1 week from tomorrow night, June 30th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be, and am already honored to be hosting a panel at the wonderful online virtual con known as Iconicon. This is the second one. This is Iconicon 2. And of course, the panel will be about toy comics. And I will be joined by the great master of retro blasting himself, my good friend Michael French. Also by Matt Swafford of the Endless Bullets podcast, and Jeff Barker of Chasing Toys, Chasing Toy 80s Toys, I should say. Sorry, Jeff. Chasing 80s Toys channel. And I'm looking forward to that big time. Of course, tomorrow night, the clubhouse will be here. My wonderful friends and first officer, of course, R.M. Briggs, and our great buddy, Mark D. with the C, our chief engineer. And then Saturday night Star Trek, back on track. Getting close to the end anyway. We're getting close to the end of our reviews of Star Trek The Next Generation, the tail end of season 7. We'll have 3 episodes this week rather than the traditional 4. Then the following week, we will review the last episode, All Good Things, and then do a series wrap up of the whole series, recap, and of course have some of our crew here and have a big series ending wrap party for our months and months of reviewing Star Trek The Next Generation. So I'm looking forward to that. Next Monday night, I don't have a picture for it right now, but next Monday night, the great Mark D with a C will join me. We'll have a topic for once. It'll be comic related, but it'll also be movies. And hopefully, I'm trying to get Tom of Midnight's Edge to join me. He may. I know he wants to make it, but if he can't, it's understandable. He's a very busy man, but we'll try to get him to join us if he can. And we're going to count down our top 25 worst comic book movies. Gonna do it. Just spur of the moment thing that came out with the other night when I was talking with Mark D with the C's. But we're gonna do it, folks. Gonna do it. And let me say hello to all of our wonderful friends here in the chat. It's some hello time. Hello in time. Phantom Outsider, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Fanty. Apollomies Million, how are you, my dear? I hope you are being safe, and you and the pupper are doing well out there on the road, probably. And be careful, both hands on the wheel, my dear. It's good to see you. The great Eric K. Renser of Bronze. What's up, Bronze Renser, man? Hey, how's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well, buddy. There he is, the Bronze Renser. Let's see here. Chat keeps jumping on me. Sorry. Also with us this evening, the great J-Man. J-Man, what's up, pal? Always great to see you, buddy. I hope you were doing well. Hope to get together with you to review a comic soon, since one movie coming up that we're going to be reviewing I'm not all excited about, but yeah, we'll tackle it together. The great Chris Persia. Chris Persia, what is up, my friend? It is good to see you, sir. Always a pleasure and always honored to have you here, man. Gwagnar! What's up, Gwagnar? Great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Dr. Coffin Nails, what is up with you? Hey, good to see you. Long time no see. Kimasabi, good to see you there. Let's see. D. Bud Martin, what is up, man of iron? Great to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Maddie's daddy is driving out there, but Steve Mitchum, good to see you there, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope Maddie's doing well, buddy. Let's see. Snail Messiah. What's up, Snail? My good friend Snail Messiah. I hope you were doing well way over there on the other side of the planet, taking care of business over there. I hope. Let's see here. For the moment, that covers everyone. I will, as always, acknowledge anyone who pops in. Tomorrow will actually mark my second anniversary of my move to YouTube. As many know, my first 11 years and 700 episodes were spent over on some of you might know, on a format called Blog Talk Radio. Yeah, I think it's still there. It's a dinosaur, I guess, but that's where I was. I was happy, and for many years before I moved here, I had a lot of people telling me I should come over to YouTube, and I should have done it way sooner than I did, but I didn't because I'm stubborn and I'm dumb. But here I am, finally, just 2 years ago. Rod Thunderheart, what's up, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. Just again 2 years ago tomorrow, I moved over here. I wasn't sure what to expect. We'll talk about that probably a little bit more on the Clubhouse tomorrow night, though. On which we will talk all kind of fun stuff tomorrow night on the Clubhouse. We will review the latest episode of the Orville. Only an hour and 50 minutes. Oh my goodness. Hopefully we can pass the time together to that new episode. We're 3 episodes in. Oh, did you all see my? I should where is it? Let me find. I'm gonna send my find my picture of my hat. I went ahead and got me a piece of merchandise, an Orville merch, my first ever. Let's see here. Because I always wanted one. Let me find I'll get the picture and load it. But I've always wanted one, and I want to do my part to support the effort. Like I said, I'm so happy to have the show back. I really loved the first episode. I did like the second one. I wasn't super thrilled about the second one, mind you, but hey, you can have everything. But I'm not down on the show or anything like that. I really like the second one, and I enjoyed the third one. But it didn't quite sit well with me, but I kind of enjoyed it a lot more until Raquel got a hold of it. Boy, did she rip it last week. I was actually shocked by her review. I was shocked that she hated it that much, or she disliked it that much. But mostly people did like it a lot. But that's neither here nor there. It's still a great show, and obviously I still liked the episode, by the way, so it's fine. And I'm still very excited that the show's back. And I think it's I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the episode. Like I said, I had some quibbles. So I'm having a bit of a. If you guys are hearing me, I have no control over my computer screen at the moment. I'm having some problems with it. So bear with me. I can't see a thing right now. I'm blind with my computer going crazy here for a second. I hope you're still hearing me. All right, let me see. I think I got control over it again. Yeah, it's getting there where I'm gonna probably need this computer's very old. Let me put it like that. Yeah, Fanti, I guess I was trying to blot it out of my. I was trying to blot Kenobi out of my mind. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the actual title of the show. But I guess we can't, can we? Could we really just try to though? How many of you watched Kenobi? I don't know. Should I be spoilery about it? Well, I'll talk about happy things for a minute before I get to Kenobi. Anyway, no big deal, but I kind of like it. It's a really nice hat. My new Orville hat, folks. Ta-da. Yes, it does. It did suck, J Man. I mean, there's a spoiler. It sucks. Um, but before I talk about it much, if anyone doesn't want to be spoiler alert, I guess again I don't do a shit. Look, we got great guys like the Echo Base guys. Doomcock that had a great video about it today. Um, Everyone's going to be reviewing it. Other than talking about it a little bit, I'm not. I don't do what you call an official review. Now, Dr. Coffin Nails, that is very smart. Way to be. But I was cheered up yesterday by the arrival of my Orville hat. The simple things in life sometimes, you know. So I enjoyed. I'm glad. I'm pleased as punch about that. Phantom, did you get a bowl of soup with that hat? Hat tip Caddyshack. I hear you, buddy. No, the whole show. Look, I hate the show. Hey, retro blasting. So true. Retro blasting, my good friend, and of course, I just got through telling everyone about the upcoming my upcoming panel that I cannot wait for Iconicon, buddy. But Obi won't. Obi was. Obi wasn't. First of all, I can't stand the whole show. Don't get me wrong. I hate it all. But in order for me to have gotten past, first of all, show shouldn't have happened. I'm going to go as a Dark Shadow Logan. Long time no see, my brother. Good to see you there, Kimasabi. All right. Obi not. Let me, first of all, the show's over now. We can talk about it. So if you don't like spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to sum up my basic views on the show in general. Yes, I sat through it. I'm dumb. You never once hear me say on the show that I'm smart. Raquel likes to say that stuff because she's like my mommy. She says all these nice things to me about me, and I love her. We love Raquel here. But I know I'm a dumbass, and I'll sit through any crap. Frickin' Star Wars, it ain't, okay? Obi won't. First of all, in order for look, I love the character. I'm not the biggest prequel basher in the world. I actually don't mind the prequels. I like things about them. Nothing will ever touch the first 2 films. Now, the horrible sequel Disney trash is actually did one good thing for me. It's so horrible. It made me go back and soften my views on a movie that I hated for a long time, which was Return of the Jedi. That's true. Look, J-Man, I'm guilty of watching P Hard. So yeah, look, I watch Strangled Nude Worms, and I freaking hate it. But I just, so I was willing to give things a chance. Like as far as Disney Star Wars, it's almost all shit to me. But I take it on an individual basis. I thought The Mandalorian was okay. But you know what? It wasn't all that rewatchable either. The Mandalorian to me, just to give you an idea where I'm coming from, I gave it a shot. I watched every episode, and I never went back and watched an episode after one was over. I always watched it, and that's not, if you know me, that's not me. If I love a show, and see what Retro Blasting says, you're not a dumbass. Oh, come on, dude. You know I'm a dumbass. You've known me forever. When you can see it for what it is, regardless of whether you watch it or not, your intuition determines or tells you. Yeah, I hear you. I appreciate that, brother. You know me. I just like to, say goofy shit. But, where were I? Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to the Orville. When it was out the first 2 seasons, or maybe Doctor Who back before it was destroyed. Maybe in the early first few seasons of the revival of Doctor Who. Now I prefer the original Doctor Who, but I did like the Eccleston and a lot of the Tennant stuff. And in those days of when we were all excited about Doctor Who coming back, I'm just using the show as an example. I would watch an episode, even if I didn't think it was a great one. I would probably watch it a couple of times before the next episode came out. Maybe sometimes twice the first night after it would air, we would get it. And so it was because I was so excited to have a show. Yes, it wasn't exactly the old Doctor Who, but it was great sometimes, only good others, Russell, I have a lot of criticisms of the Russell T. Davies era, and especially the Moffat era, but I was still enjoying the show, looking forward to it. So there was a certain rewatchability to it that I didn't just watch it once and never ever go watch it back again until the show started wearing thin and turning into crap before Moffat ruined it, before Chibi completely annihilated it. But that's, again, another long, that's a long stream there. But I'm using that show as a point. And I was that way when the Orville first 2 seasons episodes come out. By the time the next one would be out, I'd watch the previous one a few times. So if it's a show that I'm really enjoying, unless it's a binge show, like I love Cobra Kai, but I binged that. But I did binge the first 2-3 seasons, a couple, twice. And when the 5th season comes out in a couple of months, I'll re-binge the 4th season. But it's because so in other words, if I really like a show, I'm going to go back and watch the latest episode a couple of times at least, or definitely I'm going to go. I have no desire to ever watch another Mandalorian episode again. And I don't dislike it. I watched it, and every time I would watch it, I would go, yeah, that was all right. It was okay. You got to be fair. You got to call balls and strikes. I mean, if you like something, you like something. Pop culture curator, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. But I can't get excited. I just really couldn't get all that excited about it. I hear you, Chris. And I was pretty disenchanted with the entire Capaldi run. I loved Capaldi as an actor. I hated the way his character was written, and I hated the way the show was written. But I still watched them. I just never rewatched them. That's where I knew I was in trouble. So I'm just using the Doctor Who now, using The Mandalorian as an example of, I watch it. I didn't dislike The Mandalorian. I'll probably never go watch it again. Mandalorian is good in a way that Tic Tac is good. Tastes fine, doesn't last, and you never crave it. That is fantastic. That's why they should pay Retro Blasting the big bucks, because I love it when he said. That's brilliant, dude, and absolutely the case. I watched it. If someone said, hey, did you see the new Mandalorian? What did you think of it? I go, it was all right. It was pretty good. And some were better than others. There were a couple episodes that were not very good. A couple of them were okay. Then along comes Book of Boba Fett, which is a piece of trash. The only decent ones were the ones that were Mandalorian episodes. And there was only one Mandalorian episode. Then the next one with the Mandalorian and weird-looking CG Luke Skywalker on that planet was just dumb and weird. And then Book of Boba Fett was, for me, a lousy show. $5 super chat from the great Bronze Wrencher Eric K. Thank you, buddy. You're too kind, he says. Reva, or as I love what Doomcut calls her, Reva, will be the power behind everything. She will be power in the force that guided to blow up the Death Stars, giving Luke Ray power. Hey, she already is. She spared Luke in this new one when she could have killed him. So they've already ruined everything. So I didn't like the Book of Boba Fett, and I read a book a few years ago that should have been in canon called Kenobi by John Jackson Miller, which talks about his early time on Tatooine. That was done correctly. That's what they should have just adapted that. Because like I said, I like the prequels fine. In fact, after episode 4 of Obi-Wan pissed me off so much, I'm gonna come out and confess, and my buddy Retroblasting can laugh at me for this. I was so craving to see Obi-Wan acting like an actual hero and a man and a Jedi again. I went back and watched the prequels, all of them. In between episodes 4 and 5 of Obi-Wan, I went back and watched the friggin' prequels because I was so disgusted by the characterization and the characterization rape of, I said that word, you're supposed to say grape, of Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can say what you want about those prequels. I like his character. I like his portrayal. And at least he's a hero and he's a Jedi in that. He's an absolute loser, buffoon. He's absolutely a travesty in this show. And again, it's at least, I don't know. I just went back and watched him. I just wanted to watch him being Obi-Wan again instead of watching this trash. And in order for me to have liked this show, I have to buy into the premise that the first episode sets up, which is for 10 years, Obi-Wan Kenobi, after, remember the end of Sith? Training I have for you. You will learn to talk to your old master and the ways of the living force. Qui-Gon? Yeah, that, gone. So basically, he went right to Tatooine, became a self-loathing, depressed bum. Well, not a bum. He was working in a 9-to-5, but he buries his lightsaber. Goes into a cave, goes into a shell, loses contact with the Force. Apparently, doesn't do what Yoda told him to do. So, and this show starts out 10 years later. We're to believe that Obi-Wan Kenobi immediately went into a funk for 10 years. And that's where the show starts. Mark D, with us, see what's up, buddy? So that's where Obi-Wan asks you, if you're a Star Wars fan, if you're an Obi-Wan fan, it asks you to accept that Obi-Wan was a loser piece of crap for 10 years, the first 10 years. And Retroblasting says Obi-Wan in the prequels is like a prize in a family-sized box of grape nuts. You really don't want the cereal ever. You just want the prize, but damn what you have to do to get it. I love it. Oh, man, I can watch the prequels 20 times before I can watch this show or Book of Boba ass again. So, a good one, Mike, by the way. Obi-Wan, that right at get-go in the first episode, you have to buy into that premise if you're going to enjoy the show. If you're a fan of this character, if you're a fan of Star Wars at all, you have to buy that Obi-Wan is a punk bitch who, in the first and second episodes, let's see, does such lovely things as turns a Jedi who is looking for help away, tells him to forget the Force, forget everything we lost, go screw yourself, and then watches him get hung. He's watching Luke from afar, but he buried his lightsabers. How do I get past that as a fan of this character? People did. Some people did because some people like the show. I can't. Right there in episode 1, it really, as much as I bitch about what happened in subsequent episodes, none of it means anything. Even if it had been well done, which it is, this show is horribly written, it's poorly filmed, it's cheap, it's garbage in every single way. It's garbaggio in every way a show could be bad, and it's pathetically written. The writing is Well, again, what was it? Someone I do believe I've seen on a couple occasions that one of the writers admitted to never having even seen Revenge of the Sith. Now, whether you like Revenge of the Sith or not's beside the point. If you're writing a goddamn Star Wars show about Obi-Wan Kenobi and you haven't seen that movie, you shouldn't even be allowed near anything to do with the production of the thing, in my opinion. Call me old fashioned. And Retro says, if you hated what they did to Luke, but you can accept this show, your brain has given up, and you've bent over for Disney's pleasure. Exactly right. You've just shuffled up to the trough, and you'll slop up any old glop that the corporation feeds you. Because what was done to Luke was pretty much done to Obi-Wan in a sense. Okay, other things that you have to accept, that they ask you to accept to watch this show. You have to accept Obi-Wan meeting Leia. And of course, the show really is young Leia adventures, to be honest. Well, I don't accept that. I hate that. I mean, automatically your premise, it's already destroyed by what they did to Obi-Wan himself. But even beyond that, other dumb things, him going after Leia. By the way, is someone have figured out yet why the kidnapping of Leia? Why did the Vader and the Inquisitors? How did they know that kidnapping Leia Organa would have anything to do with drawing Obi-Wan Kenobi out? It's still not been explained to me. Okay, I'm willing to listen to a good explanation. The defenders of the show probably have a few. How did they know that if they send Flea, yes, it was Flea, the great Flea. Ugh. If they send Flea to kidnap 10-year-old Leia, that would draw out Obi-Wan Kenobi from hiding. I want to know how. Someone please explain. I need that one explained to me. I know I'm stupid. I need that one explained to me. Also, let's give him that one for a second. Remember, and I'm talking early in the show now, second episode. Remember in this was either first or second episode when Obi-Wan tells Bail Organa by communicating, no, I won't. I'm sorry, I can't help you. And so Bail, played by Jimmy Smits, goes to Tatooine to beg Obi-Wan to go after Leia. Why didn't they just follow him to Tatooine then? If you take Leia, which all doesn't make sense, but let's give him that for 1 second, then why don't you go? Yes, the Red Hot Chili Peppers Flea is the one who, it's him. So let's give him a pass on the Leia thing for a second, which was dumb. Why didn't they just follow Bail? They want Obi-Wan so bad, follow him to Tatooine. Oliver Belamonte, hey there. He bailed on Bail. Oh, shit. So, again, why? Fucking why are you doing this? Okay, let's see. Now we got 2 episodes behind us. At the end of episode 2, when Obi-Wan's like a cowering little child behind this thing, and Reva is yelling at him, she yells at him that Anakin Skywalker is still alive. Well, why didn't Obi-Wan already know that? And C, B, and F, and F this show. The look on his face when he finds this out, when he hears this stupid revelation that shouldn't be a revelation, is one of abject fear. Like, what a punk. First of all, he knew that Anakin was Darth Vader. And so you're going to tell me that he spent 10 years and he's never heard of Darth Vader being mentioned later? I mean, the whole galaxy knows about Darth Vader, don't they? Would not one think that even if you don't watch the news, let's say you don't watch Space CNN, Well, nobody watches that on Earth either, but okay, other like news or the internet, whatever. Maybe he goes to space Twitter. Even if you look at space Twitter once in a while, Obi-Wan, you've heard of Darth Vader. And you already knew that he'd been named Darth Vader. Exactly, J-Man. Kenobi, the laziest writing in the galaxy, and this is the laziest writing. So it's dumb that he didn't know he was alive, and it's even dumber that he was scared shitless like a little bitch. So that's just the first 2 episodes. In the third one, when he's getting bossed around by young Leia, and gets his ass saved by, of course, well, I do love the chick because she's hot. I've always liked her and stuff. Adrena Varma or whatever. That her character, again, his point is he's always being saved and either bossed around or being rescued from people. In the scene where he fights Vader the first time in episode 3 of this crap, he runs from Vader like 3-4 times in that scene. It's a bad scene. It's not interesting. It's not dynamic. It's not exciting as you would expect a fight between, I don't know, 2 Jedi to be. Nah. It's really shit. And how she was able to rescue, well, yes, everyone's talked it to death. How he burns Obi-Wan with the fire. That, by the way, a little Bacta treatment took care of it nicely. Because Obi-Wan, I don't know. I'm just going over some basic stupid shit here. How she rescued him in episode 3 from Vader. Everyone's talked about it to death, so I won't go too far into it. That was pretty stupid. In episode 4, when he goes and rescues Leia on that water planet, yeah, there are too many stupid things in there. I'm trying to think of my favorite stupid shit. Because I'm not reviewing the show for very long. I want to get to the new episode, but I was trying to cover some of the basics of the other ones. Let's see, episode 5 was a standout because he kneels before Darth Vader after he finds out from Reva that Reva was one of the kids in the temple that Anakin thought he'd killed, but she played dead after he stabbed her or whatever. She's, by the way, maybe she's from the equivalent of Krypton or Solea of that galaxy, because lightsabers don't really hurt her. Evidently. Even when she was a child. Because she survived and played dead in the temple. And it turned out all this time that, he finds out, Obi-Wan finds out that you're not hunting me. You're hunting him. What do you mean hunting him? She's been with him for years. Again, so I question, why did she give a shit about Obi-Wan Kenobi when she'd been near Vader all this time? She'd been an inquisitor, so what did Obi-Wan have to do with anything but Reva? What? Why? Why did she give a shit about Obi-Wan when the whole time we find out all she wants is to kill Vader? Her motivation is so stupid. I think people were thinking that Kenobi's appearance would be like Luke and Mando, where he comes and he kicks ass, but instead he just mopes around sucking at everyone. No, that's exactly right. I thought that even if the show wasn't going to be any good, that the character of Obi-Wan, since Ewan McGregor has really been so good in the role, that he would be he didn't have to be exactly his old self, but pretty much his old self, where he was. Some things might have happened to him here and there. I didn't need him to be. Of course, I didn't need it to be what happened to Luke either, but I really didn't need what happened to Obi-Wan to be pretty much a carbon copy of what happened to Luke. Why? Well, your reasoning is, of course, today we're 2022. I keep forgetting we have a generation that doesn't believe in heroes, doesn't understand heroism, actually is afraid of heroism. Look how they write superheroes and supervillains now. They try to make them very, very close to each other. They don't write compelling supervillains anymore. They want to make, they like to make supervillains sympathetic. And they like to make heroes more like villains. It was a time when that happened a little bit in the 80s and 90s. And then we started to get away from it for a while. And it happened in comics mostly, not in other pulp culture that much. was just comics doing that. Miller and Moore and the things that they, and then Gaiman and some of the things that Vertigo and other things put into comics. But it really wasn't that much into the pop culture. But now it's leaked over, and obviously many, many, many years later from when that used to happen in comic books, and we know how it pretty much really it really did a lot of damage to comics. Now it's in pop culture. And for a while there, you had the Marvel movies, for better or worse, they were pretty heroic. But even in some of those, you can see they tried to make more sympathetic villains. It is shameful, retroblasting. I mean, the heroism. Hey, J.D. Lewis, good to see you there, buddy. Heroism is something that's important to me. My favorite type of entertainment is heroic fiction. Obviously, I love science fiction as well very much because I love Star Trek. I love science fantasy because I love superheroes, as you all know. So I love heroic fiction. I love heroes, just always have. And Star Wars is about heroism. That's, Star Trek has heroes in it for sure. And it's about hope and all those things. And there's definitely underlying tones of heroism in it, but there's a lot more than that too. It's about ideas and intelligence and understanding and friendship and a lot of things. Star Wars primarily is about heroism. To me, that's one of the things that stands out the most to me for Star Wars. Now, again, we all know in fiction you need a great villain to tell great heroic stories. So when you don't make the villains compelling, it does hurt the hero a little bit, but it still needs to be about the hero. And villains lately, I don't know, they're not being handled particularly well. But right now, again, the MCU for a while was at least doing a decent job with heroes. Now they've ruined that as well. Hey, it's Disney. Could there be a correlation? And now you take Star Wars and, look at The Mandalorian. Like I said, it's an okay show. He's not a hero, but he's not a villain either. And he's sort of an anti-hero, and that's okay to do a show about that. But don't make everything in Star Wars about that. Right after that, you do Boba Fett, and he's not a hero at all. But he tries to play lip service to being one sometimes. That's 2 shows they've done already about anti-heroes. I thought Star Wars was about heroes too, but then I realized it's a brilliant dramatic metaphor for the taxation of trade routes. Retroblasting nails it again. Yes. Well, hey, you can laugh, pal, but trade routes are important. And we need more science fantasy films to concentrate on trade routes, okay? So I, for one, am looking forward to the next Trade Wars movie. But yes, so okay, look, Disney puts a show out called Mandalorian. Then they do Boba Fett. That's 2 shows. And their 3rd show, I'm going, okay, it's about a hero, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, sure, he was a hero. And by the end of the series, by the way, they turned him back into that hero and stuff. It's just that he did things that I don't accept. I have to accept the premise that by the end of episode 6, which was too late anyway, and what's crap, by the way, was still garbage. He sort of is back. In other words, he's on the path that we're going to see when we meet him again in episode 4, unless they do another season and they do more shit with him. And yes, I'm not taken in by that spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last scene. Trade routes through this star system. Yes. What's wrong with trade routes? Hey, let me tell you something, pal. You can laugh all you want. Trade routes are exciting. I mean, sure. I think we should do a whole stream about trade routes, in fact. So, assuming they don't do another season of this crap, the Obi-Wan that we see at the end of this episode is going to be the one that starts looking like Alec Guinness, and is going to be the confident wizard that, even though that wizard's just a crazy old man, Well, let's talk about episode 6 a little bit first. Episode 6. All right, Reva again. It was pretty in episode 5 when Reva finally confronts Vader and he hands her ass. I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. It's pretty good that it was handled correctly because she had no chance against him, and he just, wiped the floor with her, and then he stabs her. He should have. We knew he didn't chop her head off like it. What's wrong with you, Vader? You idiot! Should have killed her. You'd have saved us all a lot of trouble. Thank you. Retro Blasting, you're too kind, buddy, and I'm glad to see you there. And hey, Melinda, hope all that worked. Everyone, of course, I've been telling everybody about Econocon. I plug it every night, so looking forward to it. I know you guys are busting your ass on that. And it's going to be great. So, episode 6 comes along. Well, excuse me, end of episode 5. Earlier in the episode, I should remember now, Obi-Wan was on the comm link he was on his iPhone with doing FaceTime with Bail Organa, and they mentioned the children or whatever. And then stupid ass Obi-Wan leaves it there. Reba, who's just been stabbed with a lightsaber, which apparently fucking lightsabers don't mean anything anymore. Apparently you could get stabbed with a lightsaber unless you're Qui-Gon Jinn or Han Solo, I guess. So she's just fine. She crawls over to the thing. She sees it, and now she knows about Luke. I don't know why, because the show's written by idiots. That's why. I don't know how. Just because she sees Luke, how does she know to go after Luke? There's never explained why she wants to go after Luke. Again, I thought she hated Vader. Now, we're supposed to believe that somehow realizes that Luke is Vader's son and wants to go kill him? Because if that's true, why don't you explain it and say that? They did not say it. We don't know why she wants to go after Luke. So, episode 6, this is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life in anything called Star Wars. It opens up, these Jedis who are all going in, these refugee Jedis who are running from a Star Destroyer. There's a scene. If you saw this, you would think it's a parody. Anyone who hasn't seen the 6th episode, it opens up. Reva, they don't see her at first. We see the ship of refugees that got away from Vader. But it opens up, and the Star Destroyer is following it. It's right behind it. And it's shooting at this ship that Obi-Wan is on and that Leia is on, and the refugees are on it. And it keeps missing. And it can't overtake the ship. And I'm like, wait a minute. Remember the opening of Star Wars? What was it, the Tantive or whatever? When it easily overtook that ship that's about not too much similar size to the one that the refugees are on. But this Star Destroyer can't catch it for some reason. And it goes on, and they spend like 20 minutes talking about how Obi-Wan's decided, we got what's his name? Who was it? Ice Cube's son who plays the kid or whatever. He's running the ship. They have a discussion about we got to get the hyperdrive fixed, or we're never going to go away from the Star Destroyer. There's no way you should be able to get away from a Star Destroyer anyway. No one says, I'm going to take a ship and lead them away. Hey, Wolfie. So Obi-Wan is going to take this ship to lead them away, to leave Vader, because he knows that Vader will follow him. Yep, it is a Tantive something or other. Thanks. So, Obi-Wan, this is so fun. Look, I almost recommend, don't pay to see it or anything. I don't pay to see it. I see it. I have someone's codes. I don't give a dime to Disney. Yeah, I know it gives them a view, but I'm sorry. Anyway, all right. You almost have to see it to believe it. I could not believe what I was watching. You had a Star Destroyer following a smaller ship, pew, 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 shooting at it and missing. They couldn't disable it, apparently, and did knock its engines out and take it for some goddamn reason. So, finally, after whacking around, having Leia try to talk him out of leaving. I love it. It's an older Clobberin, but it checks out. I love it. Love the quotes. So Blow-Me-Wan decides to lead the ship away heroically, gallantly lead the ship away because he knew Vader would follow him. Well, yeah, but what about... See, it makes no sense. Because we know that Vader's not annihilating the ship because he wants Obi-Wan. That's fine. But they could have easily knocked out the engines of the ship and taken... A Star Destroyer can't take out this little crappy transport? It's so stupid. It's so... Yeah, exactly, Quagnar. Yeah, it's a good thing that Star Destroyers don't have TIE fighters or tractor beams. So, Blow-Me-Wan, after he says his teary goodbyes to Leia, plot armor indeed, sir. He leaves and takes off in his own little shuttle thingy. And then Vader decides to get in his shuttle to go after him, and the Inquisitor says, but should we go after one Jedi all over? We can get all of these Jedi here? And he says, he's more important than all those other Jedis. Actually, I just want to go kill him, so shut the fuck up. So Obi-Wan goes to this planet, the nearest crappy planet, knowing that Vader will follow him. And yet Vader doesn't say, look, while I go kill him, you guys kill these Jedis. And then the Jedi, as soon as as soon as Obi-Wan leaves, they fix the hyperdrive and they're out of there. I'm like, wait a minute. So what if they fix the hyperdrive? A Star Destroyer could catch him easy. Dave G. Sound. A Star Destroyer would catch that crappy little freighter easy, but I guess not. So Vader didn't say, hey, look, I'll go get him. I'm going to go kill this Jedi. You go catch them and blow that ship out of the sky because we don't need them anymore. But of course, since Leia's aboard that ship, we know that can't be destroyed. Plot armor indeed. So he chases Vader. Obi-Wan chases Vader to the planet. We all know what's going to happen. They're going to fight again, even though they shouldn't have ever fought after Mustafar. They should have fought again. That's another thing. I'm supposed to accept that there were 2 fights in between Mustafar and the Death Star. Screw you, Disney. Inquisitors, the worst idea ever. Hey, what if Pinhead took out all the pins and had a lightsaber? Pretty awesome idea. Oh yeah, he looks terrible too. So, in the meantime, and by the way, I think they have, that bullshit and Into Dumbness where they created these transporters that can transport you people from planets to planets. I don't think they're using ships. They say they're using ships, but Reva just magically makes it all the way back from where they were, where she's supposed to be dead. Remember now, Reva has been stabbed with a freaking lightsaber by Darth Vader. She ends up, we see the next scene, she's on Tatooine and she's fine. She's kind of like moving around a little bit. She's a little under the weather, but she's fine. And she's on Tatooine now looking for Luke. And we see a scene where she goes asking him, trying to find out where he is. Then we cut back to Obi-Wan's landed on this planet. Then Darth Vader lands on the planet. And, of course, we got the big showdown. And we're supposed to be, woo, oh, my God. I'm a Star Wars fan. I've been waiting for this long. Oh, another fight between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, my God. So, sure. We get to see another fight between, and this time, again, they're going to pull in, they're going after your feels, as the kiddies say, because this time Obi-Wan's not backing down or running from him. He's pissed off. He's decided he's his old self again. I'm glad you're your old self, but you should have never have stopped being your old self. That's the problem. We had to wait through 5 episodes of shit for you to start acting like you were supposed to be fucking acting in the first place. Okay? That's bullshit, Disney. Why do you just put us through 5 episodes of garbage and ruining the character, disgracing and defiling him, just only to have him wake up in the 6th episode? By this time, we don't give a shit. Hello there, the lovely Sherry. It's good to see you. You've already ruined him. You've already made him act like a punk bitch. Well, it's too late now. So here we go with the big fight, and it's not particularly good. I mean, it's not a. I mean, if you're a big fan of lightsaber fights, and you know what, I like them too. I like them fine. They're a lot of fun sometimes. This one, it's just so what, and maybe that's partly because the show's so bad, so I don't care as much. It does look cheap. They're all just on some nondescript rocky planet. The planet Geode, I think, as Drunk Creepio called it. They only know how to write characters two ways: Disney, Lucasfilm, hopeless and beleaguered, or on God mode. Yes. And they were like throwing mountains at each other and shit. So I don't need to bother going into what the fight was. It was just dumb and boring. And I mean, maybe it'd have been better if I didn't hate the show already, to be fair. Maybe I guess maybe that's part of it. My predisposition for thinking the show is a piece of absolute garbage probably has something to do with this fight. I could give a shit at this point, but it's not particularly well done at all. And again, it's just, Look, I know some people don't like the prequels. I get it. I like the battle on Mustafar. I like that it goes on for a long time. I like that it's all over the place in a very dangerous place with lava and all that stuff. I found it to be enjoyable. I found it to be, well, maybe that's time. I don't know. But I thought that was at least an interesting idea and an interesting place for a big fight between two Jedis. This was not. They were just on normal rocky terrain with a bunch of, just a typical. I mean, look, I guess I should give them points for it not being a sand planet again. But it wasn't that much different, really. All right, Jay, man, good to see you there, buddy. Always a pleasure, my friend. We must review in the not too distant future. We're reviewing some more comics. We got to review the Great Darkness saga. Excuse me, that's LT. We got to review the Dark Phoenix saga soon, dude. My good buddy Jay, man, folks. So there's the big fight. Wah, wah, wah. Who cares? But on Tatooine. Meanwhile, on Tatooine, what's her face? Reva has found the Lars farm. Retro Blasting. You killing me, dude. I love it. You say, yeah, Disney, Lucasfilm managed to make quarry locations look cheaper than 70s Doctor Who. Nice. Yeah, it's crappy looking. I mean, it's just boring, really, more than anything else. I mean, they're throwing shit at each other with the Force, and like, yeah, whatever, guys. I don't give a shit. At this point, I don't care. You're just boring. Dave, what's up, Dave? So, at the Lars forum, what do you think happens when they find out that Reva's coming after Luke? You would expect Owen Lars to take charge. He pulls out these crappy, antiquated guns. They're about to defend Luke. But he's the big wimp face, and guess who steps up? Aunt Beru. Beru, who in 10 years is going to look nothing like this girl looks. Let's put it like that. Let's be nice. 70s rock fan, what's up, buddy? Let me be nice here and say, in 10 years, Beru, you look pretty okay now in this episode. It's a fairly lovely woman. I don't know what happens to you in 10 years, baby. 9 years. Really. Captain Cockney Spock. In 9 years, Beru... Man, what the hell? I mean, Owen too, by the way, but Jesus. So Owen and Beru are going to defend him, but he's a big baby, and Beru is all of a sudden the big hero because this is Disney Star Wars, the Force is female. And the men are all idiots. The men are all punk bitches being bossed around by kids like, young girls like Leia, bitched around by Reva, and be bitch slapped all over the place by women all the time. Small time republic. And all the men are punks and idiots and fools because it's Disney Star Wars. That's just common. That's just the way it is. And with right now, with anything to do with Disney Star Wars. So, Reva easily kicks their asses. But Luke runs out to Beggar's Canyon. I don't really know if it was Beggar's Canyon. I just like to call it that. And almost gets, tries to get away, but she pulls him down on the ground and he gets knocked out. 10-year-old Luke. And he's, by the way, Leia can get away from all these bad guys Melinda says, it's bath salts and meth that ruined Baru. Gotta be. Oh, you bad, Melinda. You so mean. That's why I love you. You so mean. I'm not trying to be mean to the lady that played Baru. It's not her fault that these dumbasses cast a much younger woman. I guess she's the same young lady that played her in at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I think both of them are, both Owen and Baru. I think if same actors, I believe. There's Claudius Minimus. So here you go. She's about to kill Luke, and then again, Hungry Boy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, bro. Again, we don't know why. It's never explained why she wants to kill Luke, because she never says that she knows that's, Darth Vader, Anakin's kids. Never is it said. Never is she told this. Now, they're going to make an excuse and say, yeah, they knew it. '70s, it's good to see you there, bro. All right. So she stops herself from killing Luke, and she, and then, oh, by the way, after Obi-Wan kicks, wait a minute, we got to go back to Obi-Wan a little bit, because there's this scene that in a good show would have had some weight, but since the show sucks, it's meaningless. He ends up beating the shit out of Vader. He hands Vader his ass, slices his damn helmet off, or slices through it, damages his breathing system, and he's won. He's beat him. And he tells him, he says, I'm sorry for everything, Anakin. And he says, I'm not Anakin. He says, you didn't kill, he says, you didn't kill Anakin. I did. Get it? In other words, he's felt guilty for killing his friend, but he's telling him now, a young Jedi named Darth Vader, who was a pupil of mine until he turned to evil, helped the Emperor hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights. He betrayed and murdered your father. Well, from a certain point of view. Anyway, so that's this is the point where Obi-Wan realizes that he was killed by the dark side, not so much killed or left for dead or whatever. Keely Chow, by Obi-Wan himself. That was supposed to be the big closure moment, the change, the big, I'm going to be my old self again, Obi-Wan. It's meaningless since the show sucks so bad and do so many stupid shit in there. All right, everyone, a brief timeout while we get to the 1 hour mark. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 hour to go for the new episode of the Orville, season 3, episode 4 release. I cannot wait. Looking forward to it. I can wait. Sorry, Minimusness. But I can't wait to see this. Oop, you're not supposed to say that in front of me. He doesn't want a pet peeve. Anyway, roll tide, Keely Chow. So, so he does that. Then he gets back to Tatooine in about 2 seconds. That's what I said. It takes him like, Tatooine must be right next door to this planet for some freaking reason. They never even bother anymore with, you can just, these ships have worse, they're better than hyperspace, blah, 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 hyperdrives. I mean, I don't know what they have now. They have transwarp drive. He gets to, after he messes up Vader and does, by the way, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. He doesn't kill Vader, obviously, because Vader pops up later, right? You might say, well, of course he wouldn't. He's supposed to be another. Yeah, my point exactly why they should never fucking meet. Because he could have killed Vader right there. He beat him. He bitched him, and he could have killed him right there, and he doesn't. Why, you may ask? I don't know. If you didn't write yourself into a stupid situation like this and never have this happen and never have them meet, you wouldn't have to answer the goddamn question. Why didn't he kill Vader and do the galaxy a favor? Why? I mean, Obi-Wan's killed people before. And he admit he's not Anakin anymore. Kill him. Why would you leave him alive? Yes, Tatooine is exactly small time. Tatooine's next door to everything. Even though I guess it's not it's not the planet that is farthest from the bright center of the universe anymore. I don't know how Reva got there. I don't know how she's alive after a lightsaber stabbing. I don't know how Obi-Wan got there in 2 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, he goes and finds Owen and Beru, and they're all distraught. But Reva has made the decision to spare Luke and carries him back to them. And now she's a goody-goody because we're going to get a show about her probably. So Reva, as Duke calls her, Reva. Now she's going to be good, get her own show. She's the bestest ever. She's the Mikey Spock of this show. She'll get her own damn show, and nobody will watch that. And I do mean not me. There's only so much even I will watch. I know. I sat through Moon Knight. I sat through every Marvel series, but not Miss Marvel, at least. I've only got so much. I mean, Kazi and Andar, who's gonna sit through that one? I don't know. I don't know. Eric K, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says the Jedi need swords. At least those are swords. At least those are deadly. Yeah, lightsabers don't do shit anymore. Lightsabers are, depending upon who's using them, I guess. So it ends, and of course, as you all probably know, he gets to meet Luke. You know, he goes to Owen and says whatever, talks to him, and Owen's nice to him for a minute and says, "Hey, you want to meet him?" And he comes over there and he gives us the big catchphrase for, yes, hello there. You know, the Obi-Wan, hello there. We get it. We understand. Yeah, whatever. And he gives him the toy that he's playing with at the beginning of Star Wars that they showed at the first episode of this show. Or we assume he gives him the toy because he has the toy in Star Wars. Well, all we see is the hello there. And he rides off on this camel thingy, and he's out in the I don't know if it's the Genolan Wastes or whatever. Then he runs into Ace Cast Iron. No, he didn't run into Ace Cast Iron. That would have been cool. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. He runs into Qui-Gon's ghost, who says, it took you long enough. Good to see you there, Ace, brother. And that's the end of the show. You had to, if that's what you wanted to see, fine, if you liked it. This was a defilement and a debasement of the character of Obi-Wan. And now, but then they ask you to go, nah, but he's okay now. For 10 years, he was a fool. Now, granted, the only reason they couldn't do to him what they did to Luke in this Last Dead guy was because he has to be in Star Wars. But since they're probably going to remake Star Wars, what they were doing is, Luke was, even young Luke was, 10-year-old Luke was just kind of an incompetent little kid, whereas Leia, throughout the show, young Leia Adventure, she's the bestest ever. She's perfect. She's great at everything. And by the way, I should have mentioned that there's a scene where he goes to Alderaan and visits her and gives her a holster of that lady who got herself killed. And it's like, he's talking to her like he's some wonderful father figure mentor. She should never have met. He never should have met Leia. Arabic Sandor, hello. I'm Sandor, sorry. Arabic, good to see you. And now I'm like, oh man. So I'm sorry about all the ranting, folks. I got it out. I'll never need to talk about this piece of shit show again. I know some people are liking it. Fine. Look, if you like it, that's fine. Again, for me to like it, I would have to accept all kind of crap I'm not willing to accept that happened between 3 and 4. That happened between Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars that I don't like saying. I don't like saying A New Hope that much. I say New Hope or Episode 4 when I need to communicate something, but in general, I call it Star Wars. In fact, I watched the specialized edition the other night. That was nice. See just the word Star Wars pop up there with no bloody Episode 4. New Hope or blah, blah, or along the lines of no bloody A, B, D, or C. So Obi-Wan leaves Luke on his own on Tatooine since Beru is such a great. Yeah, I guess he figures, look, Beru's the bestest ever. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's not leaving. I guess he's going. I mean, I don't know. Now, as we all know, in Star Wars, Luke is familiar. At least he knows Ben. He must have talked to him a few times. Ben Kenobi, boy, am I glad to see you. Even though he does call him a strange old hermit, and he doesn't know him. It's vandalism, folks. That's what to me. It's vandalism. People got it. This is something that is always that I've way before they were doing this to the big IPs like Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who and whatnot. I guess because I've seen them doing this to comic books back as long ago as the 70s and 80s and 90s. It's something that this is not a new thing to me. Seeing things that have gone before, things created by others, trashed with no regard at all for what the original creator might have wanted. And I've seen it a lot. Like I said, usually in comics. Now it's trickled over into, well, over the past. I mean, it's not nothing new. It's been the past 10 years, really. But I mean, in whether it's again, the big three, of course, are Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, but probably in that order. But to see people show no respect for what went before, because a corporation has the, unfortunately, legal right to let you screw around with something and do whatever you want. You're still a shithead if you don't respect what the original creators have done with something, and you have no respect for you. In my book, I got nothing for you. If you're doing crap like that, you're shitting all over someone else's work. And in this case, I don't care. Yes, I'm mad at Lucas for selling it to Disney. They still, if you don't do it for Lucas, do it for the fans who love this stuff. Don't do this. Of course, they're going to keep doing it. We know that they don't care, because it's like Marvel. Like I've always said, just to talk about comic book companies, just talk about Marvel and DC for a second. You know, these are companies that are built on the blood of creators that made them all the money, and they've given very little. And except for a few special circumstances, Marvel or DC, and they had to be dragged kicking and screaming or shamed into giving some sort of recompense for the great creations that they've sucked money out of big money out of for decades. But there are tons and tons of others, contributors and creators, that have never got anything. There are only a few of them, and again, a lot of noise had to be made, and they never got. Some of them, in some cases, never got anything while they were still alive. Just their heirs got a little bit, without going into all the names. Just, and these big horrible companies screwing original creators over. Again, it's happened in other areas too, but I mean, just saying, comics are one that I'm more familiar with than others. It's happened with books, people who, and other things like that as well. And of course, we all know it happened in the music industry a lot in those early days as well. Not everyone can be J.K. Rowling, who actually benefited completely and owned everything she created. Lucas has lived long enough to be Stan Lee while still being a billionaire. Ace Cast Iron, that is a great point. Yes. And the thing is, though, this isn't a case. This is a different kind of a case. Lucas let it happen for whatever reason. I sometimes joke around saying, he did it to get even with all the prequels critics. He says, screw you. You don't like my prequels. Wah. I'll just sell it, and I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And he stamped his feet and he held his breath like a baby, and he sold it off when he could have easily just kept it and hired people. If he didn't want to mess with it anymore, at least not sell it off to the devil. Just take it. George, first of all, I never beat up on the prequels that much. I have friends of mine who hate it, and I have other people who like it. But it's perfectly fine to criticize it. He's a child if he can't take criticism. But they still did okay, and there's still a lot of people who saw them when they were very young who grew up loving them. So, okay, some people didn't like them. George, so what? So fucking what? You didn't have to sell it. You didn't have to, and certainly not to Disney. You could have kept it. You didn't have to ever make anything. I would prefer them not even ever touch Star Wars again than this. But if you could have made more, you could have just hired other people under you still owning it to come in younger, and try to look at better people than they, obviously better than the Disney scum, and try to make it under the Lucasfilm umbrella and keep it there. But no, it might have been good, might not have been good, but I can't imagine it being worse than what's happened to it. Nothing could be worse than those 3 horrible sequel shitters and Solo. Nothing could be worse than those. And this crap here. But these things are not, they're properties. They're IPs. And it was sick what happened to Star Trek. It's a damn shame. And now look what's happened to Star Wars, Doctor Who. They're all in the same boat. And there's nothing we can do about it. Oliver Belamonte says, Clobberin, I freaked out when Marvel let Spider-Man characters Miles Morales become Thor in What If. When Miles has Mjolnir in his hands, he says, rapper MC Hammer's famous quote, "Hammer time." You freaked out when that happened? Did that surprise you? I know that's a big controversy going on right now. With regards to a recent What If comic where What If Miles Morales has become Thor? I don't read any modern crap anymore, Oliver. So you telling me that that's a book you collect and you saw that and were disturbed by it, huh? Well, you're not the only one that's upset by that, from what I've been seeing. Sounds pretty funny to me, actually. Anything that gets idiotic SJW Marvel in hot water is funny to me. By the way, Mark D with a C, you can pop in if you feel like it, buddy. But if not, only if you feel like it, though. It's hammer time. He really says that, does he? Oh, my God. That's pretty funny, actually. Let's see. Club, that's not original anyway. Didn't Eric Masterson say that once when he took over the hammer for Thor? He probably did. Mark D with the C read Thunderstrike more than I did. Look, I know Mark likes he likes Eric Masterson. I wasn't really reading the comic at that point. At that point, I wasn't reading a lot of mainstream stuff. Yeah, it's always kind of fun. My buddy, I think J-Man had to go, but he and and his buddy Sean, they do the fun show on I think it's Thursday nights, where they look at they're big because they're a bit younger than me, so they look at comics from the 90s. I'm not sure if Old Man Masterson, maybe the son. But they look at comics from the 90s. They do a show where they talk about, and they go to the Great Mike's Amazing World page and talk about all the titles from a certain month or whatever. And which is kind of fun. I like to go into the chat and hang out with them and hang with them in there. And it's funny because a lot of these books they were buying, I'm like, man, it brings me back. I'm going to have to get them on here one night to do that. And it brings me back to all the titles. All these, I recognize them, but I also remember going, man, I stopped buying that. I stopped buying that. Man, there was a time, late 80s and into the early 90s, I dropped all kinds of I dropped almost all of the mainstream crap. I just thought it turned into shit. In fact, there was a time there in the early 90s, I was down to a very scant few titles. Of course, I went to the shop every week and everything anyway. And I remember for a while there, I was getting jaded and getting out of comics. Not out of comics completely, but there wasn't that much coming out. And then Valiant, that resurgence of Valiant for a while in the early 90s got me excited about new comics coming out again, the whole Valiant line. And there were a few other ones. But Marvel and DC, I wasn't touching much of them. And at that point, I was out of the business again. Actually, I went back into it a little bit later, or at least working for a friend shop. But even then, I was not. I would not look at the mainstream stuff. I would try it, and I couldn't. I mean, I just didn't like a lot of it. And a lot of it was, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it was. Things were changing, I guess, but I wasn't collecting a lot of titles. And of course, a few here and there, and there were some other, but there were still some of the good, independent books were out. But because they were a little bit younger than me, they were buying some of that stuff. And so I laugh at it. I go, "Wow, you bought that?" I mean, I tease them sometimes. God, you bought that? You got in the chat. I'm in their chat sometimes, But anyway, wait a minute now, Eric. I didn't say anything about owning a comic shop. I did own a comic shop, but I didn't say anything about it this time. Jump the gun there, buddy. I don't know though. But now it's funny. But when they're doing that, I guess the end of the story there is when they're doing that now, it's still better to look at than the new shite. I can't even, when I walk, and once in a while we'll go, Minimus and I will go visit a friend shop. When I look at the comic racks, my eyes start to bleed. That's true, but it was a different friend. It was not at a shop I owned at that point, but yes. I look at the new comics racks now, and I'm like, wow. And by the way, there's not much out there because the comics industry is dead. It is dead. And it deserves to die, to be honest. That doesn't mean there won't be good comics coming out at some point, or comics at all. It's just the industry, the big companies are toast. Sorry about that. Sorry, everyone. I have a bit of a. Let me see if I have sent the link out to Mark, and I actually sent it to someone else. But sorry, one bit of a. All right, sorry, a bit of a mistake. I thought I sent that out to you, Mark. I sent it to a different chat thingy. All right, sorry about that. Everybody had a bit of a technical. There he is. Mark,
hey, you're on fire tonight.
What did I do?
How's
what
it
did
going?
I do? Hey,
well, great show. Yeah,
joining me. Well, thanks, man.
No,
I sent it to the wrong. Not to the wrong. I sent it to a great friend of mine. I was chatting with a good buddy, retrovasting out there, Michael, and I was, had his up instead of yours, so I sent.
Oh, okay. So you sent it to Michael. Yeah.
So what I mean, Michael,
you wouldn't mind if he chopped on.
I would love for Michael.
Right?
No, I'd love for Michael to pop in, but I don't. He's a man who's a very busy man, so I don't like to put him out. And so I would never just send him a link without tell him like days in advance, hey, you want to come on? However, he has the link now, and if anytime he wants, he's always welcome here. We'd love to have him, but I'm not trying to cajole him into showing up either. It was a total accident, Michael. So if you're even hearing this, so but Zachariah, what's up, bud?
Hey, Zachariah. Yep. No, but no, you had great points. And I was mentioning before, my son is like a casual Star Wars, fan. And no bad dad stuff, but he's my one son that likes genre stuff a little bit, but he's not crazy Star Wars nuts. But even he was saying, well, he did like the last episode, but he's like, but it doesn't really make sense. He's like, how does it work with the trilogies? Like, and why is Obi-Wan? Doesn't Leia like? Wouldn't she recognize Obi-Wan? And why is he
Yeah.
fighting Darth Vader? Even like a casual person, it's a whole Rey Skywalker stuff where it's, Palpatine comes back, and it's just really bad writing. I mean, parts of the fight were interesting to watch, if you want them, but I mean, I've seen some fan fiction movies that are, when the guy that redid the end of Star Wars, that the lightsaber battle with Darth and Ben. I think I played that one night on my Sunday Night Geekery. Fantastic, right? They kind of just made it more like the prequel fight. So, but I mean, the story, it's not a good story. It just doesn't add to the mythos. You're not like, oh, that was so cool, or oh, I can't believe how amazing that was, or I can't wait to watch that again, or it just didn't do anything for me. So
no, it was just it was total shit because you're now. By the way, it won't do this to me necessarily. I think, in other words, when I watch and I just watched the specialized edition the other day, when I watch that, I'm never gonna go, wow. I mean, other than like a joke, if we were like watching it together or something, I'm never gonna go, wow. When he says, if I sense something, a presence I've not felt since. Well, what? Oh, those 2 times I fought my old master. In between the other time I fought him, all those times, he handed me my ass the first time, and then I pretty much punked him pretty bad. I let him go, and then later, he really kicked my ass again. It's like, wow, and he could have killed me, but he didn't for some reason. And then
why
here
don't
we
you
are.
kill Darth Vader if you got a chance? I mean, how many thousands of lives or hundreds of thousands? Alderaan, right, gets destroyed.
Yeah,
billions of lives.
It was Tarkin that did that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but enabling, it's like letting one of those famous Yahtzee players live if you have the chance.
Letting him live. Yeah, I mean, we know Vader's not nice, and we know he's done bad. He's evil. Yes. So yeah.
And that's a great part of the story. He's redeemed in the end. That's what makes it work. But then you don't have that opportunity. With Kenobi having the chance to take him out, they never should have met. Like if I was envisioning this series, like maybe you'd see Darth Vader kicking ass somewhere, and maybe he thinks Obi-Wan's alive. But I don't even like him knowing that Obi-Wan's still alive. I like that whole the hermit and
there you go,
and Tatooine and
exactly, Mark, Ace. I mean. No, well, yeah, there's the thing. Yeah, he should never have known any of this crap. Do a different story. The whole story is a bad idea. Everything about it, especially little Leia.
Leia is just
that's the worst idea. Nothing against the little actress.
Yeah, she's cute. She's good. She's doing what she's given. It's
it's not her fault. It's never the actress.
Yeah, never. Yeah,
it's just like and Reva, she's the worst. First of all, her acting wasn't. Hey, Dad, man, what's up? It wasn't as terrible. It wasn't her acting was not as terrible as it was in the first few episodes. But I don't care about her acting. Her character's stupid. Can you explain to me? No one can explain to me why she's alive after getting gutted with it as a child, and then now
twice
getting gutted by a lightsaber, and she's got to be from Saleya, I guess. So, given that she's not from Krypton or whatever, I don't know how she's alive, but can you explain to me when she's crawling after Vader kicks her ass and so-called stabs her, when she finds that little communicator thing?
Yeah.
Andy Sedaris films have more creative necessity than this exercise. Yes. Could you explain to me, please, how she knew what Luke was? Did Bail Organa say, Obi-Wan, you've got to come to Tatooine because Anakin Skywalker's child, Luke Skywalker, is in danger? No, he didn't say that, did he?
No, and then how did she find a farmer on a planet named Owen? I mean, that doesn't exactly narrow things down, right?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I mean,
she found him in 2 seconds.
She's got to be better than Magnum PI to find.
Remember, they don't show her. I don't think they show her at the beginning of episode 6. They just they show a recap, and the next thing when we first see her again, she's perfectly fine. And she's on Tatooine, which is. It's not the planet that the bright center of the universe is farthest from. It's a planet that is next to every other planet in the freaking galaxy.
Yeah, and then the timeline too. Wouldn't she take at least, even if she did survive, wouldn't it take months and months in a Bacta tank? Hey, we didn't get the Bacta tank this time, but yeah, it's and Dad Man's here. He'll love this.
Hey, Dad Man.
she's got to be related to Darth Maul. Now, Dad Man's gonna
Yeah.
trigger Dad Man because he can't stand that Darth Maul survived the first the first movie, Phantom Menace. So that always triggers him. Sorry, Dad Man.
Yes,
But
that was the Jailbreakers, the makers of the sweetest little automatic in the world. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Why did Vader
man.
let her live? Why didn't Vader kill her then? He's talking to her and taunting. Why wouldn't he finish her off? That's what my son said. He's like, why did Vader let her live? And the Inquisitor, why did he let her live?
Spock. Yeah, none of us can. No, yeah. But again, I don't know how she knew to go after Luke. And again, she wants to kill Vader. But again, all of a sudden, her whole trauma started as a child. Again, the whole story is stupid because remember in episode, was it the 4th or 5th episode, where she has this little conversation through 20 feet of steel, by the way, with Obi-Wan, and he goes, "Wait a minute, you're not hunting me, you're hunting him." Meaning, well, how is she hunting him? She's been around him for years.
She found him, right?
What does she need Obi-Wan for?
Yeah, she's got him, right? She just needs to catch him in a spot, and then or when he's going to his when he's in his Bacta tank, or when in his quarters, maybe sometime he could try to take him out.
Dude, I saw a video. I'm gonna try to find it later. A video by a gentleman. I forget who it was now. Salty. Was it Salty? I can't remember who it was, but it's a guy sitting there. He didn't see the new episode yet. It was before this one came out. It was yesterday. And he was talking about all the plot points. He was talking to himself with all the plot points that happened, just going through the whole plot in order.
Screwed up, yeah.
And how bad it was. And he's like, but then this is like this. If you read this out, and in a writer's quote unquote writer's room,
it doesn't make sense.
Who sits there and goes, guys, I think this might need a little bit of work. And Retroblast says, guys, we're talking about a timeline that foisted a character named Dooku into the story with a straight face.
Only Christopher Lee could pull that off, right?
Beyond 19, that's true. God forgive me, Retroblasting. I do have one of those big Dooku dolls that they did. But it's Chris. I look at it as a Christopher Lee doll.
Yeah.
I only say doll because he's a big, figure, bigger, like one of those like big ass ones with I have a few of them. I forgot.
Like I don't the 12 inches of the.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very good point. Dooku. They called the guy Dooku, and then we bought into it. Well, you didn't, Michael.
Well,
but
Christopher Lee is about the only guy that can
Christopher
pull
Lee
that
can
off.
sell that. Here we go. 30 seconds and count. 30 minutes and counting, folks. For the new episode of Orville, New Horizons.
Well, I'm going to be on
what we have for you.
I'm going to be on with Nerdporial in a half hour reviewing after the episode is over. So I've got my this is just the Prime code. I still got a lot of sanding. And
for those who don't know, let's tell those who don't know. Mark 3D printed this, and he's sanding and he's getting ready to paint it. This is a beautiful
it's very
Orville.
rough right now, but and there's a lot. Unfortunately, the Orville's got all kinds of decals and colors, and it's not an easy paint job. So, and I'm printing another. I'm going to keep printing a batch of these. So if anyone wants one, let me know. But so it's been fun to print. And I was just checking my 3D print. I think either the
it was actually a Baby Ruth. Oh God, Caddyshack joke.
It was a Baby Ruth. Yeah. So I was printing another one tonight. Either the filament ran out, so it stopped about right here. So I've got to.
That's looking good, dude.
But that's looking pretty good. Yeah. So I mean, you can't get an Orville kit unless you get a custom, custom model. Resin models, a few out there, but
that's fantastic, man.
Yep. So that's coming along. So I'll show that off tonight on the. Orville crashed into the mic. So but the 3D printing's a lot of fun because then you can, if you don't have a ship out there's not enough Orville stuff, then you can make it yourself. So looking forward to finishing that up.
No, that's fantastic, dude. I love it, man. Great stuff. Well, you'll get it together.
Yep.
I did not expect to bitch about Obi-Wan tonight. Really, I'm just going to do any kind of open shite, and I don't know.
Well, it's infuriating
to that
because
shit.
I mean, of course, we went through the sequel trilogy garbage, so I mean that was just so bad. I mean, when I went to see Last Jedi, my family's like, "You seem kind of depressed." I was like, "What did they just do to Luke?" I mean, The Force Awakens was bad enough. We
Yeah.
don't rehash the Star Wars. Then when you find out what they've, you kind of got a hint of that in the first movie with Luke being a hermit off on that island, and then when you watch The Last Jedi, it's just game over, man. Game over. It's like God. I mean, you got a few
It is.
seconds of Luke in that fight, but then he decides to, you know, I don't know what you want to call it.
Here's
But
Glagnar. Oh, he says, here's the bail message. If he's found you, if he's learned of the children, if I don't hear from you, I'll head to Tatooine. Owen will help with the boy. Okay, that doesn't tell her who the children are, does it? Am I wrong?
thank you, Wagner. No, yeah,
Thanks,
I mean,
Glagnar.
yeah.
Exactly.
How
She
does she
didn't say
know that?
Darth Vader's children or Anakin Skywalker's children. He said the children.
Because everyone was told they died of childbirth. The Emperor was told, and Vader was told to hide them. So
Oliver Belamonte says, I'm so upset and jeered when Reva can survive the lightsaber stab by Vader, yet when Obi-Wan's master Qui-Gon was stabbed by Darth Maul, Ben Palpatine easily killed 2 Jedi Masters in Episode 3. Yes, exactly. Well, she's the bestest ever, though. Did you see Doomcock's video today? Oh, my God.
no, I didn't get a chance, but
He said he
must have
didn't
gone
even
crazy.
he said he didn't even bother to like set it up and do production like he always does. He did that for the introduction, but this was like right after he watched it this morning. He just recorded his voice. And,
Yep,
they should have established
a code.
the code. Yeah,
Yeah, so you have a
code.
secret
Yes,
secret code,
absolutely.
like in Wrath of Khan, with
And you
Kirk
shouldn't
and
leave
Spock.
the goddamn communicator on the ground. But still, she didn't know.
Well, no,
There's
it
no way
fell
she
out
could have
of
known who
it
it was.
fell out of the other fake Jedi's pocket. So Obi-Wan gave it to the other Jedi, and their
Okay.
what's his name, the guy from the Turtles, and
The Eternals guy. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
he
well.
gave it to her, and he used it for communication. So
By the way, we should
but
tell
it's still
everybody
pretty stupid. Yeah.
it is. Speaking of bad, we're not done wallowing in bad yet, everyone. Are you still game for Monday night?
Oh yeah. Top 25
Monday
worst.
night, the top 25 worst, or maybe the bottom 25 worst comic book movies, mind you. And Tom, I was on with Tom on Midnight's Edge last night. He said he's going to try to make it with us and hang out with us and make some. But we don't know for sure, but he's invited, of course. But you and I will. Are you going to have trouble making a 25 list? Because I could do 50, but
Well, as long as I don't have to watch all 25 movies again before,
no.
but I'm sure
If
I
you've
can
seen
do
them
25.
once, if you've seen them once. That's interesting. You mentioned that, by the way. Michael from Retro Wrestling says they should have established a code. Like always refer to them as those shitty kids. Always refer to them like annoyed adults dealing with punk kids. Vader would have had zero interest. I love it.
Right.
So it's funny when I was looking at this list when I was made my list of the worst the comic book movies ever made. And it could be most hated. For me, it's most hated. Probably they're in order.
Well, there's a difference between hated and bad too. Like
I know, but I'm going with hated.
Yeah. Okay.
But in this case, they're bad. These movies are bad. Some people might think they're bad, but the top 10's easy.
Yeah, it's the bottom.
The top 5 are easy. Now, placement's not so easy.
Can I count TV movies?
No.
Like if I can't count like the Captain America from the 80s, with
sir.
the.
Now let's stick with theatrical.
No, I'm trying to think because that never was theatrical, right? That Captain America movie never made
one that
theaters. Yeah.
The one exception is like the Snyder Butt counts because it was a movie theater. It was made for theatrical by the movie branch and all that stuff. So yeah. And what was funny about it is I was seeing a bunch of movies. Like I was trying to find lists of bad movies, comic book movies, so I can remember some of them. And I'm seeing some go, I realized how many comic movies I didn't even watch. There are a lot of them I did watch. I watched a lot of them, but there's still some even I didn't watch.
Well, there's been a
But I
lot of
wanna make sure
Punisher
we mention
movies. I'm not
some.
going to tip our list, but there's been a lot of Punisher movies.
I don't think
Bunch
I've
of
watched
Blade,
one
the
of
old
them.
one. You
I
never
didn't
watched
sit
any of
through
the
one of
Punisher
them.
movies?
I watched the TV show, but I've never watched any of
Yeah.
those stupid Punisher movies. Not all of them, anyway. I don't even think I said
The
all.
first one had
all the way
Dolph,
through the
Dolph Lundgren. Yep. Yeah,
I
and
can't
the only
remember
thing he
ever.
had was a dagger with the Punisher logo symbol
I don't
on
think
it.
I think I
Never wore the
don't think-
costume.
I don't think I watched it all. No, I don't think I did.
I might have to rewatch Howard the Duck in preparation.
So you don't have to rewatch anything. I know that when it's a bad movie. You know what? I actually kind of like Howard the Duck. It's funny, but it's all. Don't worry, I'm not going to be nice to it either.
Yeah, but there's certain
But,
movies that
man.
when they're bad and good, it's like a fun, it's fun bad if that's the term, where you sit through it and
Right.
it's
Fun
cheesy
bad.
and it's it's ridiculous and Howard is crazy and if they ever did that adult comic of Howard the Duck someday, they never. Of course, now Disney wouldn't do that, but remember that they had an adult series in the Max series, Howard the Duck. That was pretty off color, but they're not going to go there, I'm sure.
Hungry boy, I've got good news for you. He said, I won't hear a bad word said against the Corman 90s Fantastic Four film after the train travesty. Well, it doesn't make that movie good, but you're spared because it did not. It was never been had an official release.
Yeah,
it's not a movie. It was made as a write up that was supposed to be destroyed. So even though I still think that's a bad movie, in spite of Fantastic, it won't be on. Even if I did, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't put it on the list. So you're fine.
But wait, I have the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I know you do.
I
And
just
it's probably
got
not a
that.
great copy either.
Well, no, this is the new upscaled version. So
Yeah, but it's. I mean, there was only like one master print that was.
But
shitty.
what they did, I don't know if you could read the back.
Did they remaster
Chris Gore was talking about this. Yeah, so it's
nothing. That's still putting perfume on.
Yeah, high definition. I know, but the spirit of these actors is pretty good. At least they tried.
I like that documentary. Yeah. Oh, they tried. They didn't know they were.
Yeah, they tried. Yeah.
It was Roger Corman, so they should have known. But
and they thought it was being released into theaters. Yeah, so they tried. We had the jeweler instead of the mole man. And
see, that was stupid.
Yeah,
and all that shit about how they base their powers on their emotions and stuff, on their inner personality, garbage.
But I would much rather watch that any day than Fantastic. That was one of the few movies I actually almost walked out of. I was like ready to leave.
I don't know how you walked in. Even I didn't walk into that one because I cheated. I admit. Yay, bots! Yay.
Thank you,
hey,
Chris.
Bots.
Yeah,
thanks, Chris.
Travesty, and then
appreciate it, buddy.
And then they used the Galactus Cloud and the Silver Surfer one. Oh,
that might get a mention. I don't know. That just might get a mention. I'm not saying. I'm not revealing my list.
No. Yeah.
The Trank. The Trank wank better be on the worst 5 of the. Hey, what do you, Hungry Boy? You know who you're talking to here. Don't worry.
No spoilers.
Don't worry. But remember, this is comic book film, so it doesn't have to be superheroes. Can we?
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah. Like you could have. What was trying to? The movie. I'm just forgetting the name of the movie now.
Yes, Wagner, that does count, and I'll tell you why. Not only it's a direct, it was a direct to video, but there was a time back then with these direct to video films, before they could be direct to video, there was this little movie theater right near where they were the production plant of a lot of these VHS places that would play the movie for like 5 days. Where they were where a lot of the movies got put on the VHS tape. I forgot exactly, somewhere in Illinois somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. And so it did have something of a theatrical release. He's talking about the garbage 1992 or 3, whatever, Captain America movie with Matt Salinger. Which
that's the movie. Yeah, that's not to be spoilery.
Count, that might get it. That got to mention it counts.
Oh, that was in theaters.
Like I said, I think it may have gotten a limited theatrical release, but either way, it's straight to video counts as well because that's not a TV movie.
Okay, all right, I got you. Yeah, because Stan, I remember
straight to video counts.
In the soapbox, he said, the Red Skull is just so awesome in this movie. We're refilming some scenes and adding more Red Skull. It's going to be even more incredible when you see it. So
Hungry Boy, no, I don't count the Shadow movie, and I'll tell you why. Like you said, he is a pulp character first. Yes, he's been in comics, but he's a pulp character first. So I don't count him in this because I do. Well, I only saw the Shadow movie once, and I hated it. But I'm going to reevaluate that soon because my old buddy RB is mad at me apparently because he wants me to have to sit through it again. But it will get we will deal with your Rebel Shadow film soon enough. Yeah, that Matt Salinger Captain America movie was one of the worst pieces of shit ever, and it's gonna get the shit kicked out of it.
Poor Salinger.
So. That movie sucked. God Almighty, was that bad? But yes, but the Red Brown movies are low hanging fruit. That would be too easy to pick on.
Yeah, I mean that's
it's a TV movies. Yeah,
yeah. And what about like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? That
counts.
That counts.
Yeah,
right?
it's based on the comic book. I mean, I actually don't hate that movie like everybody else does.
No, but yeah,
not as much as most people, but it does count. For example, the movie Ghost World counts.
And we're not counting it animated though. This has got to be live action.
No animated because this is live action. Yeah.
Yep. So
wow, Tubi has that stupid Captain America movie on there. Jesus Christ!
It's fun to watch. Just sometimes like the nostalgia factor.
Steve.
That.
Good night, Steve.
Take care, Steve. Yep. Like I remember as a kid waiting for that. I think it was probably the TV movies waiting for that to come out. As a young kid, I think that was the late 70s. That was after Spider-Man, the Spider-Man TV show. I think the early 80s, the Captain America movies.
Around the same time, I think they were before it.
Before it, but I just remember being really excited as a kid to watch those. And Cap had the bike with the shield in front.
Stupid helmet.
The helmet with the
squat.
Yeah.
Rock thrust going or whatever.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And didn't he come fly out of a van? Like he had a van that the motorcycle would come out of, or But maybe it'd be fun to watch.
He was the son of the original, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He said you ridiculed your father. Remember, Steve called him Captain America. Be Captain America, Steve. I remember that stupid line. I'll never forget it for some dumb reason. And it was like, what the hell? I remember watching it as a kid. I'm like,
isn't he Captain America?
He's bad. He looks bad enough, but why is he his son? Well, they can't just have him frozen in the ice. His son is like, what's wrong with you people? I guess because there was an old Captain America cereal.
Yep.
In the 40s, so I guess maybe he's, I don't know. And he didn't have a shield on that. He had a gun.
This looks so bad.
That show was terrible. Dick Purcell played him in the old cereal.
Red Brown. I can show some pictures. It's just
what? Red Brown?
Yeah, here. Just
hey, Christopher Lee was in the second one, by the way.
Yeah, this is.
Good night, Steve. Sleep well. I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Yeah. So there were two movies.
Well, you got Matt Salinger here, and you've got Red Brown.
Yes,
Red Brown looks stupid, but he's still better than Matt Salinger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, I don't think I've watched these in a long time.
Amazing.
Gwagnar. He says the 90s movie Cap superpower was stealing vehicles. That's true. He kept stealing cars. Max Redstone, what's up?
Hey, Max. And that was the movie, right? Yeah, 1990 film. Wow. The costume looks okay there, but here's the motorcycle.
Rubber ears. The costume had rubber ears, dude.
Yeah, I know it was bad, but at least it looked better than this one.
I like the motorcycle though.
The motorcycle will be fun, yeah. And then here's the Captain America cereal. There
Puff
you go.
Drink lots. Yeah. Slag. Yep. Slag blowfist. Yeah,
here's the rubber ears. I know, but I'm just saying on this cover it doesn't look as bad on that artwork doesn't look as bad, but yeah, we were just so excited to watch it as a kid. Yeah,
I saw Meteor Man at the theater. Meteor Man, yeah, I saw it. It's not a comic book, but they did a comic later, but that doesn't count. Yeah, that's Red Brown, folks.
Yeah, yeah.
The
So
stupid helmet was so bad. He wouldn't look so bad.
the helmet.
So he just have him a normal mask. He's got
Yeah,
one under the helmet.
yeah. It's just craziness, craziness. Yep.
Oh,
Well,
makes
that'll
me want to
cheer
watch
everyone
Space
up.
Mutiny. Yeah, makes me want to watch Space Mutiny. Oh man, we're getting close to the
Yeah.
new episode of The Orville. Of course, and then Friday morning I'll be reviewing it on Loki's show. Gristle McThornbody.
So
Big,
am I gonna have?
large, huge.
Am I gonna go first on my review on the Clubhouse, or does Raquel going first?
We want you to go first next time.
I go first next time too. Yeah.
If you want. I mean, ladies
No,
first, I
I'm
always say,
joking.
but
No, but then she's like, I think Mark better go first.
oh, did you? Oh, that's right, you did, didn't you?
And I gave my review and I said I like the
I'll
episode.
make her
and-
go first next time.
No, that's okay. I'm just joking, but I don't mind. But I was like, but then God bless Raquel. I mean, she had all her notes, and I'm like, the kid that showed up 5 minutes before the test with, winging it. And she had all. I'm like, damn, she made some good points, even though I still did like the episode.
I liked it, but I hear you. And the Catherine Maxwell, he was not Steve Rogers, but crusading DA Grant Gardner. Jesus Christ! I don't know if I ever got a chance to watch that. I only saw bits from that serial with J-Man Forever, which J-Man Forever was hilarious. Slab
Oh, and I
steak
think-
face,
and I think
crunch groin. Yeah, Dr. Mordred is a better Doctor Strange movie than the Multiverse of Madness. Did you know that they've already put that on Disney Minus?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, today.
Oh, it came out today. Wow.
But they haven't put Spider-Man yet. The last Spider-Man movie, I mean.
No, it's because that's Sony, I guess, right? I wonder who
Yeah,
has the rights
I
to that.
guess, but it's still. I would think they had the rights to put it on there. I don't know.
We'll find out.
They're bringing that back to the theater, in
They are, yeah.
in August or something to add a couple of
they
probably
wanna-
3 seeds to it or some shit like they did with Avengers.
Yeah, and to try to get some more money out of the deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like the movie. I saw it twice in theaters, once to review it and then once with the family. So I don't know if I need to go see it again. It wasn't, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. But
which one?
New Spider-Man movie. I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
I'm the
see
same
it a
deal.
third
I
time.
watched it the one time. I don't really need to say I
Might
liked
watch
it.
it
Okay.
again,
I liked
but-
it. Yeah, I didn't buy it, and I can't afford it anyway. So Blu-rays are expensive, but I just I would watch it if they put it on there probably just to see it again. But it's not really that big of a deal. I never really need to see it again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, remember the Batman serial? Batman was also a government agent in that movie. That series of serials was it late 40s, early 50s, or I'm trying to remember. There were two
Which one
Batman
again?
serials. There were
Yeah,
two Batman serials.
serials.
Yeah, I think the first one he was a government agent because they didn't want to have a vigilante out. They didn't want to condone a vigilante on the streets. So I think it was that 47, the first Batman serial. I don't remember. I just was just watching part of it,
Well,
and they couldn't afford 43. Okay, 43 was the first one.
are you familiar with we're talking about since you were talking about you had to bring up Reb Brown. Are you familiar with Reb Brown's best claim to fame when he was in a classic film called Space Mutiny?
No, you mentioned that, but no, don't remember that one.
Well, MSC3K got a hold of it. This movie was how do I put it? It was I guess an Italian film. It actually had Cameron Mitchell in it of all people. And this film is a scene that MSC3K did it back in the 90s, of course, right?
They covered it, part of the show,
or late 90s, whatever it is. Anyway, sorry, I'm having some trouble. All right, so there's a scene where, by the way, the special effects in this thing is a stupid space that were taken from the Battlestar Galactica TV show of the 70s. And they just blatantly use them. And every time when I was watching this MST3K version, I was going, they're not making any jokes about the special effects. And I realized they're probably not doing that on purpose. because it's too obvious. I mean, they're right out of they made no jokes about it that I remember. But there's a scene where because they're making fun of him being like a big muscle head, So they kept running. I can't show you the video obviously, but here are the names they gave him through the course of like a couple of minutes scene. Slab bulkhead, fridge like McLarge huge, punch speed chunk, butch deadlift, bull big flank, split chest hair, flint iron stag, bolt Vanderhuge, thick thick McRun fast, blast hard cheese,
McRun fast,
buff streaklots, trunk slam chest, flint rock bone, stump beef knob, smash lamp jaw. Let's see some more. Punk roch groin, buck plank chest, stump chunkman, dirk hard peck, rip steak face, slate slab rock, crud bone meal, brick hard meat, rip slag cheek, punch side iron, gristle McThorn body. Let's see, got a few more. A few more. Slate fist crunch, buff hardback, Bob Johnson. Oh wait, blast thick neck, crunch butt steak, slab squat thrust, lump beef brothel, touch rust rod, reef blast buddy, big McLarge huge, smoke man muscle, eat punch beef, hack blue fist, roll fizzle beef. So there you go. There's all the many names.
Impressive.
Of David Ryder.
Not bad.
You got to watch this. You got to watch the MST version of it. It's a lot better. Hey, Jill.
And thank you for
Andy
zapping those
Masterson.
bots, Jill. Andy's here, yeah.
Andy Masterson, what's up, buddy?
Hope you're doing good. Yep.
I got to get our countdown back. Damn it! I didn't take that out. Did I?
Oh yeah. We're getting close. Yep.
Getting close, folks.
And I'll be on Nerdporio live form. Let me put the
that's
link
right.
in the chat too.
Yeah.
Yep. And at 1:15 a.m. Eastern. Yep. So we're going to review episode 4.
Wow. So you got to run right there. You got to run out right when this is ready.
Yeah, I got to
watch it.
I got to watch it and then drink some coffee and then no, I'm looking forward. It'll be fun to be on there. But I hope it's a good episode. I'm sure it will be. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking. Look, I'm not disenchanted. Like anyway, I mean, I thought.
Yeah.
I liked the second episode. I loved the first episode. I liked the second episode. It wasn't big in love with it, but I liked it, and I liked the third when it had some issues here and there. I'm still just as excited. It's going to take a lot from them to lose me.
Oh,
and it might happen.
I mean, you have clunkers too. I mean, we have
First
alternative factors.
There's almost nothing in the first season I didn't love. I mean, maybe the couple,
But no, but I'm saying, even
they're not gonna have an
the great
alternative
TOS
factor,
had, some bad episodes too.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah, and they've been gone for 3.5 years.
Yeah. So in there was someone posted on Twitter. He's like, I filmed this 2 years ago, and now it's on. So.
I mean, if I'm going to go after them, it's going to take some time.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. All right, let's see here. I'm going to bestow superpowers upon the great Max Redstone. Max Redstone, you are now a mod.
Congratulations.
There you go. So there you go. Sorry. Thank you so much for everyone knocking those bots out.
And Max is doing the same for me on my channel on Sunday night. So
Andy Masterson says, currently making a comic accurate Baron Mordo figure. Wow. Nice. Well, thank you, Max Redstone. Good to see you here, man. You do a lot for the show. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, we got. Sometimes I take a shot at the bots who pop in, and usually everyone's way too fast for me. See, the thing is, when I take them out on my, they're gone. When someone else takes them out, I still see them. As you know, as long as they're gone, they're gone. So
yeah, look, I always leave YouTube up as in a chat window, so I can see, that's that's where I chat from
Yeah.
versus StreamYard. Yep.
Yep. Wow, look at this. We're getting under the 3-minute mark. My goodness. And so
I wonder
I
when
guess
number
we'll
one's
start.
going to watch it.
It takes a couple hours for her
A
to get
couple
to see
hours,
it, I
right?
think.
Yeah.
We'll do some. I guess we'll do some closing up now. So to be ready to go when we get there.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, the Clubhouse, folks, we will review the latest episode of the Orville New Horizons. Both Mark and myself, along with the wonderful Raquel.
Yeah.
Let's see here. A week from tomorrow night, I am honored and proud beyond belief to be a part of Iconicon 2, as I was last year. The extraordinary Retro Blasting channel is putting on another amazing Iconicon coming up. By the way, after I do this here, I'm going to get the link. I got to go back. I keep forgetting to put the link in the chat for their. You go to their website and you can look at the other night. By the way, the other night, Michael, I made sure I showcased all the different panels you guys got coming up, and they're really amazing. But you can go to the website and get all the info on it. It actually starts next Wednesday, however. But a week from tomorrow night on June 30th, I will be hosting Toy Comics. That is comics based upon toys at 9 p.m. Eastern. And my guest will be, of course, the master of the Retro Blasters, the great Michael French, my amazing pal, Matt Swafford of the Endless Bullets podcast, and Mr. Jeff Barker of Chasing 80s Toys. So I cannot tell you how much I am looking forward to that. And of course, oops. And don't forget, we got 1 minute, less than 1 minute now.
Yeah.
There we go. Almost a minute. Saturday night Star Trek returns, and we're getting toward the end of the Next Generation reviews. Only 3 episodes this week, because the following week will be the big season finale party where we review the last episode, All Good Things, and then we have the crew join us, and we get together and we talk. We wrap up the whole series, best seasons, worst seasons, best episodes, worst episodes, and have the big bash saying goodbye to it. The following 2 weeks will, of course, be the movies of TNG. And then after that, we'll be on to Deep Space Nine, reviewing all of real Star Trek, folks. All of real Star Trek we are going to be reviewing. That is 66 through 05. And here we go. I'm counting us down here.
Yeah.
All right. When we get almost to the 10-second mark. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go
Kaboom.
watch it. Boom. Go watch it indeed.
Have fun, everyone. And hope to catch everyone at Nerdporio later.
Absolutely. What we got going on is, of course, at Nerdporio Lifeform show later tonight. If you can find them on YouTube. I don't have the link.
Yeah, I threw the link in. Yep, I threw the link in.
Oh, you did good. And by the way, Chris Persia, thank you for that. I forgot he's got the link to the retroblasting.com right there, and you can find Iconicon through there, I think. But you could also search Iconicon.com, because I forgot to do that. Let me find it. But let me go find that real quick. Let me just put this so I can. Well, I keep meaning to put it in the show, in my show description. I forgot. Damn it. There we go.
That's
Iconicon 22. Here is the site. Please go to that. Here's pulling up the link now. All right.
Why am I not saying the Orville on Hulu? Come on, where is it?
It'll take a second, I guess.
I keep refreshing. Yep. They've got the old man on the screen. I don't want the old man.
Damn that. Anyway, there's the link, everyone, to Iconicon 2022. Please go check that out and look at that amazing schedule they got of incredible stuff on there. I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight, and I was just absolutely honored to have my great retro blasting friends listening out there. Michael and Melinda, love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your night, and keep on keeping on, and we're looking forward to Iconicon.
All those great videos, yep. So,
indeed, and we'll and again, Mark D with the C. Please go and subscribe to his channel and the many channels of many friends of mine in the description below. He does videos about 3D printing. He does videos about enabling, trying to get you to spend money on toys and stuff. And on Sunday nights, he streams Sunday Night Geekery.
Thank you.
So
looking forward to it. Yep.
Yes, indeed. I'll be there with you this week.
Great.
Thank you all, everyone. I'm just going to let everybody get on to the show. You all know who you are. We'll do the shout outs tomorrow like we usually do. But also,
thanks,
I'll play
everyone.
us out with these important messages from our wonderful first officer, Raquel Briggs. And everyone, have a fantastic rest of your evening.